Hey guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia known as Nduna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle. My name, of course, is Mitchell Mutumba Simata, aka the headman of cattle. Today on the 20th of June 2022, which is a bloody cold Monday in Namibia. Winter is finally settling in. I hope everybody's taking caution when it comes to this cold weathers. I want to talk about feedlotting and I want to talk about agri-processing, but let's start with feedlotting, hey? The feedlotting business. Most cattle marketed through abattoirs come from feedlots. In an on-farm feedlot, the farmer fattens young calves in pens or large padlocks. Using bought or homegrown, either he buys in or he breeds his own homegrown feed. Bought or homegrown feed. So he either produces his own feed or he buys in feed. The livestock can be self-produced or bought in commercial. In commercial feedlots are the major finishers of beef. The feedlot owners often speculator buyers who go to auctions to buy specific animals. In this case, they look for young male castrated young oxen. We'd call them steers or tollies. Cattle ownership would be then exchanged, and there's sometimes risks in it. There are risks associated in it because at some auctions you'd buy a cow, and sometimes the people probably removed the original ear tag, but they've brought in checks and balances to make sure those things don't happen anymore as much. So, what is a feedlot? The EPA defines feedlot or animal feed operation AFOs as agricultural operations where animals are kept and raised in confined situations, kept within a kraal or a padlock. Feed is brought to the animal rather than the animals going out to graze or otherwise going to seek feed in pastures, as in most farms. Feedlots become concentrated animal feeding operations, AFOs, when they reach a size and a threshold. Fattened in preparation for slaughter or finish on grain, which they're usually fed on grain mostly corn and soya, at our national largest feedlots, which contain 10 of thousands of animals at a time. The basic principle of feedlot is to increase the amount of fat gained by each animal as quickly as possible. If animals are kept in confined quarters rather than grass-fed, they gain weight more quickly and efficiently, with added benefits of economics of scale, meaning the fatter, the more money you get. Most feedlots require some type of government approval to operate, which generally consists of an agricultural site permit. Feedlots also would have an environmental plan in place to deal with large amounts of waste that is generated from numerous livestock housed at a particular area. The cattle industry works in sequence with one another. Prior to entering a feedlot, young calves are born typically in the spring, where they spend summers with their mothers in a pasture or on a ranch. These producers are called cow-calf operation and are essential for feedlot operations to run. Once the young calves reach a weight between 300 to 700 pounds, which is about 140 to 320 kilograms, they are rounded up and either sold directly to a feedlot or sent to a cattle auction. So sometimes this feedlot buyers would come directly to your farm, buy your winners, or would go to an auction and bid for them there. They are housed and looked after for the next 6 to 8 months, where they are fed a total mixed ration to start the journey of their future growth away from their mothers. Typically, this TMR, which is total mixed ration, consists of forage, grains, minerals, and supplements to benefit the animal. Health and maximized feed efficiency. These rations are also known to contain various other forms of feeds, such as specialized animal feed, which consists of corn byproducts, some of which is derived from ethanol and high corn syrup, milo, barley, and various grains. Some rations may also contain roughage, such as corn stalks, straws, sorghum, and other hay, cotton seeds, meal and premix, which may contain which may contain which may contain products such as micro and macro minerals and other essential ingredients that are purchased from mineral companies are able to be prescribed by a vet to help you. Sometimes you have your vet to help you prescribe certain feed rations for your animals, or you have feed specialists who can come in and tell you, for this weaners at this age, you must give them this mix to make sure that they get the required nutrients and put that fat, that kilograms, those muscles on their body for them to get slaughtered. Typical feedlots. A typical feedlot's cow's diet is roughly 62% roughage, 31% grain, 5% supplements which are minerals and vitamins, and 2% premix. High grain diets lower the pH in the animal's stomach. Feedlot diets are high in protein to encourage growth of muscle mass and the distribution of some fat. These animals may gain an additional 180 kilograms during its approximate 200 days in the feedlot. Animal health and welfare. This is very important. Feedlot is highly dependent on the health of its livestock, as disease can have a greater impact on animals and controlling sickness can be difficult with the large numbers of animals living in a particular area. Many feedlots will have an entrance protocol in which new animals enter the lot are given vaccines to protect them against potential sicknesses, and that may arise in the first few weeks. So that's how feedlots work. A feedlot is mostly not really, you can call it, it's not really a farm, but it's more a place where cattle are taken to be prepared for slaughtering, rounding off, or finishing. Usually people prefer to buy calves, male or female, but mostly male steers, which are weaned from their mother, have been already castrated. Once they've been cut, are taken to the feedlot and they are fed. They are kept in that confined spaces, as they don't have to walk long distance, because this guy's mindset is to put as much fat on your body and to build up that muscle with the protein mix they're giving. Because as human beings, if we just eat protein and we don't exercise, you would gain weight, you become very fat. So that is what feedlots do. They are all in the business of feeding animals, whether it's chickens, whether it's goats, whether it's cattle, whether it's horses, whether it's pigs, whether it's sheep. They are in the business of feeding and fattening and preparing it for slaughter. So that steak sometimes you get. This is why you would see now some of the meat that we buy, they would now put a tag or a logo on it that says free range. When they say free range free range, it means these cows are finished off on the grazing, meaning they're in the pastures, they're walking about on the farm. But if it doesn't say that, most of the occasions is the cattle come from feedlots. And I know Namibia, we have a couple. I tried to research, I found 3. I found the Okapuka feedlot, which is now the one as you are leaving Windhoek going to the direction of Okahanja. It's right there. That's the Meatco one, run and managed by the biggest meat processing plant in Namibia, known as Meatco. I know some private abattoirs have feedlots, but not themselves. They have private people that run feedlots for them on their farms. I know one farm as you're heading from Vertley to Gobabas, there was a farm there where that person was setting up a feedlot. I don't know how far they went. And I heard that current beef, I was reading articles that said current beef are trying to come into the Namibian market to establish a feedlot. I don't know how far that went. Probably it's already up and running. I'm not sure. Anybody there in my subscribers who probably knows about it can hit me up in the comment section there. I'd love to look at it and probably love to get a hold of them and talk to them just about feedlotting, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. I believe there's still more work that goes into feedlotting. Then they talk about the waste and recycling. Biogas plants are also able to be used in livestock manure to create biofuels. Manure is spread on fields. So sometimes you get situations whereby the manure that's produced at the feedlot is sometimes the feedlot would sell that manure to farmers that do horticulture production, as they could use it in their fields to be able to properly retain the nutrients in their fields and to keep their fields healthy. So these are some of the things that are being done at feedlots. I know the feedlots get a lot of heat because people say they're the biggest polluters of global warming and so forth, which they do. But I look at it and say it does have a place, particularly in our country, Namibia, with our unpredictable weather patterns, up, down, up, down, up, down weather patterns. One season it rains, next season it's dry. Feedlots can play a big role in making sure that we have an undisturbed supply of raw Namibian beef that is currently becoming highly sought after in the world. I think after Argentina, I think we're probably number 2 or number 3 somewhere there. It's highly sought after.